Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you
What
so
a
much for having
freaking day
me.
to have you on.
It was so weird because they were like, it's going to come out sometime in spring. We'll let you know when you can talk about it. And then a week ago, you were like, hey, can I have a sizzle reel for you? And I was like, I don't have a sizzle reel, but turns out I can talk about something very exciting.
Very cool.
Today.
I know. Oh my God, so you're playing a character in Destiny 2, officially.
Yes.
So tell me how this came about. How did it happen?
So I've been with my agents over at Abrams.
I like Abrams. They're good.
They're so
people.
good. They're the best people.
Yeah.
You don't even know. Like, they let me just go in and hang out with them
Oh, that's
and
the best.
chat about
They have
things.
a really nice office.
And yeah, they're super good. And then, so I've been with them since October of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime last year, I got some random audition, and I had no idea what it was, as happens with most video games.
Right, I know.
And
they always try to make it cryptic.
They do. They make it very cryptic. They
Yeah.
change all the names. Sometimes they even just give you scripts from other things. It's all very hush hush.
Yeah.
And then I read it and I got a call back. And at some point along the line, I figured out what it was. And had a bit of a meltdown.
You guessed
during
yourself.
We sort of put the pieces together.
You're like, I got
think
some hints.
we were like, oh, this makes sense. And I got it, and it's just so bonkers to me, because I was talking with Trish.
Yeah.
We used to have this gaming show, and fun story. Okay, I'll circle back to that. But I told her, like, I want to do games. I want to do AAA. I want to book AAA before the end of the year, and I did.
Congratulations. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
You don't have anything.
I don't
to
have
drink.
anything. You drink.
Neither do I.
No, it's okay.
I
We'll
have like a
pretend.
little snippet of my
Great.
leftover Pellegrino.
Great.
But cheers.
And it was really nice. I got to work with the team, here in LA, and the developers sent me like a little care package before
Today?
I started.
Oh, when you
before I
started,
started, like my first day, they sent me like it was a little bag that had the Bungie logo, and then like a Destiny shirt,
Which you're wearing right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing right now. And then they sent me a little postcard that was like, welcome to the family.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Eyes Up Guardian. And I just kind of lost it there in the booth, because that's so warm and welcoming, and you don't ever know. Like, sometimes you're just in there alone. Sometimes you don't know what you're working on.
I know.
And just to be welcomed in that way was really, really lovely. And then when I was done, they sent me another postcard, via my agent, saying like, thank you so much. It was so lovely to work with you. And it really, really kind of meant the world to me. So
God, you're like getting teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you deserve all of it.
Thank you.
Definitely.
It's still weird. I have terrible imposter syndrome. Sometimes.
Well, no, you're part of the family now.
But now I'm
It's official.
there. I'm in there. And
in there.
Solved.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not really.
Done
Yeah.
it. I've got the official confirmation. No need for imposter syndrome here.
Yeah, and it was
amazing.
such a blast. It was so much fun to work with everybody. It was an incredible team effort, honestly. All performances, I think, in voiceover are just sort of
It's a hard
amalgamation.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an amalgamation of the performance and the directing and the engineer. My God, the engineers.
yeah.
And anybody who's doing the animating or mocap. And
Did you have to do any of that?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't do the mocap for this one. But I hope to one day.
In the future.
In
That's
the
the next
future. That's
goal,
the next,
like the next thing.
thing that I want to do.
Yeah, bucket list item.
Yeah, mocap is fun. I've gotten to do a little bit of it. It's like black box theater, so it's just like your theater geek of just like, you have these scripts you got to memorize, and there's nothing in there. It's this, and you're in these suits, and you just have to act. It's very pure, very good.
Yeah. How did you get into acting? I guess do you come from a background of theater?
I was a child actor.
That's amazing.
Tell
me more.
So
What
my
were you in?
parents are both in the film industry, and
Okay.
I was very extroverted, and they thought maybe I'd enjoy it, and so they, put me into acting. I was in an episode of Full House when I was little.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, fun trivia fact about me, and a bunch of Barbie commercials, and I kind of stopped to do violin,
Right.
and I graduated from UCLA, but that whole time I was doing a lot of Shakespeare, sort of for theater.
So you know
musical
Shakespeare.
theater.
That is hard.
So much. I love Shakespeare.
Really?
If you ask any voice actor, almost all of them are almost all of them are musicians, but then most of them are also theater geeks.
Yeah, really. Into
Yeah,
theater. Were you born and raised in LA?
Yeah, so I'm an LA kid, one of the few LA kids. And so I, after college, I wanted to go back to acting. I was doing on camera, and then I think we were talking about this at the break.
Yeah.
I played The Last of Us, and the performances in there just blew me away. And I realized that, oh my gosh, you can act in
For
games,
real.
this thing that I love to do, because I've always loved games, and I always played games, but I didn't really consider that I'd be able to act in them.
Not at that level, right?
No,
Because most games up to that point, or maybe there were a couple here and there, but most of them didn't require that heavy acting as like the way we know it.
Don't get me wrong, there's such good acting in so many games, that are totally flew under the radar before The Last of Us, but Naughty Dog is such an actor-focused studio, and they very much, it's all so cinematic, everything is sort of geared towards performance, and it just kind of, it hit different, and so I was like, oh, I want to do that, and so I did, and I feel like in some ways I sort of kicked in the back, like came knocking on the back door, and it's been odd. It's been odd. I think nobody has the same path to success in acting. Like if you ask anybody, Trish and I have talked to countless voice actors, and everybody has some weird story of like, oh, I was working in a radio station and they asked me to step up to the mic, or I was a musician and I came to LA and suddenly decided to do voice acting, or I was a theater actor. Everybody has the weird story, and mine was that I was trained in acting but then was doing games, journalism-ish stuff. I was eating food on camera, I guess, and somehow that turned into I'm in video games now.
Yeah, you are a born and raised actor. Like, there's no denying that, right?
Yeah, I did, I was at the Strasberg Institute.
Holy cow.
The Method School. Fun fact, Method is not being mean to your co-stars. So just so anybody who does is talking about that. I appreciate some people's performances, but there's no.
You don't have to go that,
so Strasberg Institute, and then UCB, the Upright Citizens Brigade.
Huge.
Improv is
very well known.
So important for any acting, and it's funny because I feel like a lot of the UCB folks, we all came up together in geek stuff.
Yeah, like loving video games.
Yeah,
and nerd board games.
I was part of Tournament of the Nerds, which is this sort of show that we do, and a lot of folks.
You
went
were
into
in a lot of stuff.
Animation writing, animation writing, and there's a lot of internet people, like Screen Junkies folks.
Yeah,
ended up,
of course.
And so I don't know. I always really loved games. I love that we have this new medium.
Melding of the two worlds.
It's like if we were alive in the advent of cinema. And there's this exciting new way of telling stories, and I wanted to be part of that. And so
you're in it now.
I don't know. The calls could stop coming tomorrow.
They are not. They are only going to be.
Stop! Don't say that! Don't say that!
Flooding the gates. You've opened the doors now. I think
it's this.
If not before, you definitely opened them now.
This is pretty incredible, and I feel so fortunate to be part of it because I know, I played when the first Destiny came out. I was playing.
Yeah. So tell me your gaming history real briefly.
Oh man!
Like what was the thing that hooked you to the game and to video games in general?
Gosh, I always, I didn't grow up with my own console until I think I camped out for the Wii with my friends in high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
we camped out, we had sleeping bags and everything, and there was this camaraderie. We all went through. It was cold, but
it was huge. It was the big Nintendo console for the year.
And
it was a good console.
One. It was great.
It was really great.
And my first system that I owned myself was my mom got me a pink Game Boy Color.
I didn't even have one of those.
It was so special. I had Pokemon Red on it, and I remember getting it for Christmas, and I just played it all day and all night. And
I was the same when I got my
flashlights and play under the covers, and then before that, I got to play everything at my friends' houses. Yeah. We used to like to sort of crowd around a TV together and shout at each other while one person was driving the one.
That is the same situation I had with the PlayStation 1, playing Crash with my siblings. And it's like, I wasn't always the best. It would always go to my sister for some reason. But I would be the same. I'd be like yelling at her, like, you can do it. And then if she didn't get it after a while, then she'd be like, okay, fine, you do it. And then
so in some way, Twitch was kind of an easy sell
transition
for us,
you know,
because we're used to community gaming and playing with people, playing with an audience.
Yeah,
for
that's a really
me,
good point.
games has always really been about community.
Yeah.
Like I remember we used to play a lot of scary games. We played a lot of like Silent Hill or Resident Evil all together. And
so you're into the scary games. It's good to know. Kind of? Really?
But I used to have this show where we played horror games and then chat would scare us. And it was, it was fun and it was great and I love scary games, but like now, I don't know, I have an overactive imagination and
it'll scare you at night kind of thing. Yeah. I have the same thing. Well, because I got exposed to a lot of scary games because working for IGN, they would pretty much like make me the scary games girl. Like I would just play scary games on a weekly basis.
We had a series together.
And we had a series together. What was it called again?
I don't remember.
Oh man, we'd have to look it up.
I didn't know that at all.
It's okay. We had other series too. We played a WoW thing, and then I had Naomi Plays Live. And but it was the crazy thing was like eventually you're terrified to play these games, but eventually I'm like I like the high. You start liking it.
It's like you get that little adrenaline bump.
Yeah.
It's addictive. I really loved some of my favorite games over the past decade. I'd say have been horror games.
Yeah.
Performances are really super good in a lot of horror games.
True. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
You'll do one of these days.
I
bet acting it is different than playing it.
Until Dawn.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like playing that game and being like,
what a
Rami
great
Malek is so good in it.
Everyone
it's like
needs to play that game.
Unbelievable how good he's.
It's one of those games that like you were shocked at how good it was because it didn't like nobody really knew what it was. It was a completely new IP. But it's definitely one of those things where I think if we ever get more games like that, we should definitely do a part 2. I would love to get some questions from chat.
Some of the tiny
we have 2 more minutes.
Are in there.
Yes, we've got tiny potatoes.
Yes, my
spooky games
from when I was streaming. I don't get to stream these days. Things are kind of nuts.
You love BioShock?
I do.
I didn't know this.
I have. Like BioShock is one of the most perfect games ever made.
I could definitely
hands down.
Hands down.
It's
top
just
5.
like narratively, and I actually did
and what
a
it
little
did.
sneaky peek. I guess my friend Matt Key has a podcast about philosophy and pop culture, and I talked with him about objectivism and BioShock and just like the themes of Ayn Rand's novels, and it's just like the architecture in it and the design and the atmosphere and the music and the characters and everything is so perfect about it. Still have not played 2 and 3.
That's okay. It's the first one is pretty golden.
I've seen some of 3
golden.
and
Infinite Infinite would be the one I would maybe skip 2 and go to Infinite.
Really? And I hear 2 is a lot of like a sort of a refinement of a lot of 1, 2 in terms of gameplay, and so I'd be down. I just haven't. There's so many. I have such a big backlog, and I love.
That's like every gamer.
Every gamer ever. My backlog is way too huge.
Someone says, "Please bring back Scaredy Cats."
Yeah, so that was my horror game show, which is my friend and I would dress up like cats, and then we'd have chat scare us. There's a lot of screaming. I think there's one clip, some GIF out there of me throwing my Vive headset because that was the straightest point of line of how to get out of zombies.
Oh yeah. So. I mean that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna is there anything you want to plug before obviously your Destiny 2 character?
Destiny 2. So you can play Season of the Worthy right now, actually, which is
look at you, just so many things.
That's so wild. I'm gonna boot it up and play. I think this week it'll be fun. Also today, the Kickstarter launched for a short film that I'm in. It is called And Then. It's by Jen Ravenna, who's an incredible artist and cinematographer and now director. We shot it in Japan in February, and now we're going to finish up the post. It's sort of a queer girl meets girl, a story about art and belonging and alienation and
I love
love set in Tokyo. And it was just so incredible to get to be there and to shoot this, and the cinematography is gorgeous, and it's a story that you don't really get to see that much, and so I've been very, very fortunate in my career in that I get to play characters that were not traditionally available to me.
Right. Yeah, it's like the perfect time. Yeah.
Great.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, check out that Kickstarter. It's
definitely check out the Kickstarter.
We're almost, if we can get to like 200% funded today. I'm gonna be so happy we funded, but like we might, like ideally we'll be able to do pickup shots in Japan later after travel stuff is fixed.
The whole thing.
After travel stuff is fixed. But yeah, so let's get us back to Japan.
I'm down to make that happen for you.
Thank you.
If not you guys, I'll definitely, do some plugs on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, I had you on my show.
I remember.
And so
I'm like, I have to
really
get you
tickled,
on. And I had Trisha on
yeah.
not too long ago. So
right.
yeah, had to bring the crew together.
The pals are hanging out again. It's nice.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have you on another time too.
I would really love that.
Catch up on your latest projects.
Oh man. Ooh, there's some stuff coming later on this year too. All
right, so everybody follow Erika Ishii. She's definitely on Twitter on all the platforms, so definitely check her out. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We've got Unique Trigger, Cincy, Gimla, all the folks from my stream today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back, of course, next Tuesday. This is our new time, Tuesday at 5 p.m. So don't miss that. Next week we have another awesome guest. But yeah, more gaming news and all that good stuff. See you next Tuesday. Bye.